Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'du. Thank you very much for being here today. It is so wonderful to be with you in this moment. My name is Luthfi Hasyim, and today I will share a little bit about my personal reflection on the COVID-19 pandemic, where I will talk about how my life was impacted by the pandemic and what lessons the pandemic has taught us all about community, support, patience, and resilience. First of all, I would like to ask you some questions. What is COVID-19? How did the pandemic happen? And who was responsible for the spread of the virus in the first place? Well, COVID-19, which is a scientific name for the coronavirus disease, was first found in Wuhan, China in December of 2019. The first people who were positive from COVID-19 reported experiencing fever, cough, headaches, breathing difficulties, and some even lost their sense of smell and taste. At the beginning, many people thought that these were symptoms of influenza and cold, because before the pandemic, it was very normal for people to develop fever, coughs, and headaches. However, the world soon realized that this disease was far more dangerous than normal cold and flu. People who were exposed to the virus developed severe pneumonia and leading many to die from organ malfunction and failures. The COVID-19 also spread very quickly around the world, since countries not aware to the fast rate of spreading, the virus already spread across the world very quickly, before countries have enough time to shut their borders. Therefore, while it may have started in China, the virus soon became a global phenomenon and millions of people were affected from unemployment and sickness. But guess what? What was more shocking from the pandemic is how our social life changes after the pandemic. From the beginning of the pandemic, there have been many changes to our cultural norms and the way we interacted with other people. For example, social distancing is now a new norm that everyone has to follow. In my experience, on top of having to social distance at school, I also had to quarantine at home for a long time at the beginning of the pandemic. As a student who attended an Islamic school in urban city of Cirebon, my school life prior to the COVID-19 global pandemic was filled with activities and projects that involved a large group of students and teachers. Yet, this reality changed within seconds as the global news began announcing that the world is experiencing a global pandemic and each country must close its border to the rest of the world. When I first heard about the news, I didn't fully understand the full impacts of the pandemic, and I never expected my life to change forever. From seeing lots of friends and teachers every day, I had to suddenly stay at home, be with my family, and away from my school community. Of course, this was extremely challenging and emotional, because I never experienced a global pandemic that forces everyone to stay at home and feel lonely in isolation. But I never feel lonely, because Allah said in Al-Quran, La tahzan, innallaha ma'ana, which means, don't be sad, because Allah is always with us. The pandemic also had a huge impact on my studying experience. For many students who are used to studying in a classroom environment like myself, had to adapt to the new social distancing norm and treat our home as a space for school as well. Of course, this was not an easy transition, because I associate home with relaxing, being with family, and lazing around the living room. But during quarantine, I had to change my mindset and try to be a student at home, because school didn't stop even after we all had to go home to isolate ourselves. While it was nice to be taken care of by my mother and my father, I also felt lonely because I missed my friends and my teachers so much. I miss studying in my school, playing football with my friends, attending classes together, chatting about my day with my classmates, or doing homework together with my friends. I knew that it was my responsibility to continue following COVID-19 rules like masking and social distancing, because in Islam, protecting each other's health is a big duty as Muslims. Well, even though I wanted to hang out with my friends and go back to school, I knew that it was the best option for me and everyone to stay at home and isolate ourselves. And also, we had to listen to what doctors have to say about the virus. And at home, I was able to focus on my mental health and also on my physical health. Without exposing anyone to the virus, and without disrespecting anyone who have died and suffered from the virus. Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, "Whoever dies as a shahid, then all of his sins will be forgiven except death." Well, in conclusion, even though the COVID-19 pandemic has created many challenges in our lives and also made me feel isolated from my school community, the pandemic has also taught me how to be patient and how to thank God every day for giving me good health and a supportive family who will always be there for me. Well, now, 1 year later since quarantine, life has returned to normal again. Even though I still have to mask and social distance, well, I have been back to school and I feel so grateful to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who has given me strength and good health. Well, this pandemic has also taught me how to think that something big like this could happen anytime. And the only thing that we can do is to stay patient and how to pray to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. So everything is going to be okay. Well, that's all from me. Thank you very much for your attention. And it's my honor to be able to share my experience to you all. I hope you will stay healthy and your heart will always be strong in the midst of this pandemic. So, it's all from me. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.